Applied secretly without him knowing. I secretly went over to audition in New York. There's a long story about that, but we're not going to get into that right now. And yes, it's also funny looking back that I didn't want to use the David Garrett name, which I recorded already some records with and which people knew. For me, it was even more funny that Itzhak Perlman, my teacher, who knew David Garrett, I played for him when I was 9, 10, I saw him a few times. He even knew I was trying to apply for Juilliard. But it's also written in the book, and this is the biggest compliment I've ever had. Itzhak Perlman, after maybe 6 months, turns to me and says, "You look familiar. Could you be David Garrett?" And so the most important thing about this is he accepted me without knowing that I'm David Garrett. He accepted a fine violin player named Christian Bongatz. And he said, wow, I want to work with this guy because he's super talented. Not because he recorded with Deutsche Grammophon and was a child prodigy, a so-called prodigy, but he had a very small class. There were only 5 students from thousands of violinists who wanted to study with him. And he only accepted 5. Giora Schmidt, Ilya Gringolds, the 2 other ones I remember but are in the book, can't remember them right now out of the head, and me, Christian Bongatz, not David Garrett. And to this day, this was probably the biggest compliment I've ever gotten, and that kind of really gave me the inspiration and motivation to really knew I was actually good at this. Because when you're a child, you do things because people tell you to. You play concerts, people say you're good, but I never could really assess what I can do. That was the reason why I wanted to go to the Juilliard school. I wanted to know, am I really good at this, like top level? Am I that talented? Or am I just surrounded by friends and family who tell me this the whole time? I wanted to know the very strict truth in life. And that was the first time I thought, yes, I can do this professionally. Perlman telling me, are you really David Garrett? It was the biggest freaking compliment in my whole life.
Immagino che molti lo pensassero già, però.
La cosa poi da dire